composite photos. I also got to take a photograph with Mr. Nahuna. Are you asking if it's a composite image? Guess. It is indeed a composite image. If you look now, there is a star shape in the bottom right corner of the photo that indicates that it was created using Gemini. And not long ago, our Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, visited Korea to appear on YouQuiz. So I'm also doing this with Bill Gates. It's so natural that it's hard to tell the difference. We'll be trying out these kinds of activities in our class as well. During these lessons, I've heard that many teachers get to fulfill their wishes, having meals with Lim Young-woong, hugging him, holding his hand, and so on. So we'll be trying all of these things too. You can try all sorts of things like this. Would you like to comfortably share why you came to this class? Why did you decide to attend this class? Just a moment. Since the world is evolving at such an incredibly rapid pace because of AI, I really wanted to try to stay informed and keep pace with that changing trend. Yes, that's exactly right. As I mentioned earlier, the gap in technology is perfectly fine as long as it just widens and I can continue to live my life. But if that gap gets too wide, it starts to become a significant and frustrating obstacle in our daily existence. That's why I'm here, right? I'll do my best to narrow that gap as much as possible. So, what brings you here?
Well, as you are probably already quite aware of this, it's something everyone knows, but our country is in a state of diplomatic severance. Our country is basically creating almost 3
different paths, right?
That's right. And now with AI, yes. It's about capabilities. In the end,
tech.
As you might expect, we actually require a massive and continuous supply of electrical power to maintain our daily operations and keep everything running smoothly, you know. But that is simply the way the times are moving forward in this day and age.
Like you said.
Wait and ignore the gap.
Just wait.
Instead of staying the same, it's the worst outcome. That's right. That's right. Yes. And I think we have to keep moving forward, don't we?
So that's how it all started. That's right. Once you've completed all 4 months of classes, you'll understand what I'm saying much better, and your daily life will become much richer. Your life will become much more abundant. As I do this work, I feel a great sense of pride. I really do. And in my own way, I also feel a bit of a sense of calling for this work. After finishing, many of you thank me saying your daily life has become so much richer, or that you've become a smart senior. These days, people call that being an insider. They say they're insiders, and the teachers go above and beyond, creating all sorts of things with AI, showing them off, and even teaching their grandchildren. It's true, really. They do all of that. So they thank me so much. And what I mean is their sense of self-efficacy, so to speak, really increases a lot. Plus, it's fun too. So you've really come to the right place. How did you come here?
Someone close to me is having a really hard time. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
sometimes when I have a meal and talk,
they say the same thing over and over, even though we just talked about it. I constantly have to repeat myself whenever I am trying to talk to those people.
Is that right?
Yes. So I really wanted to utilize this to discover an effective solution. And additionally, I also wanted to...
That was my purpose. You've made a really good point. Yes.
Indeed, yes, that is exactly right.
That's right.
I wonder if there's a way to resolve this somehow.
That's what I'm thinking. First of all, I think you could receive an immense amount of valuable assistance from AI in that regard. And from my own personal perspective, I strongly believe that reading a lot, writing a lot, and having a lot of meaningful conversations can be incredibly beneficial in helping to significantly mitigate cognitive decline. As a matter of fact, when you look at the research,
That's true.
yes. But it's difficult for a person to be by your side and do that with you all the time, isn't it? In that sense, if you could comfortably have conversations with AI whenever you want, even if not all day long, I think it could be much more helpful for improving cognitive decline. And what's really great about AI is that unlike us, it doesn't forget. Even if a person says the same thing, we tend to forget. But AI never forgets what we've said, not even once. So, from stories from long ago to things happening now, as long as I have enough conversations with it, if I just let it get to know me well, I can talk with it just like I would with a lifelong friend. My friend.
One of them just mentioned that they had recently become friends.
That's right. I don't.
You know what
They mean though. People even get married to their friends, you know? So while I say this as a joke, I'm actually talking about real cases. And you know how I sometimes say things to you teachers in a joking way? All of those are actually based on content from academic papers. I'm just breaking them down and delivering them lightly, but they're actually very fundamental points. So, you are absolutely right. That is exactly correct. That was a very good point you made. Why do we have those personal worries that we agonize over so much? Sometimes just the act of talking about it to someone can relieve your stress. Maintaining confidentiality, this is a very important question. There are times when we talk about very private, personal information that we wish no one else would ever know, right? If I were to intentionally and maliciously attempt to gain unauthorized access to your highly sensitive and private personal information, and if it were genuinely and realistically possible for me to actually hack it, then ChatGPT, that OpenAI company, would have to shut down if personal information were leaked. That's how serious this issue is. Serious enough to threaten the very existence of the company. That's why they invest as much capital in maintaining security as they do in development. It's unsettling, I agree. But honestly, this is also a matter of trust, a belief that they won't leak that information.
Wait, just for a second, please.
Let's continue with the lesson for a bit first. We'll just do a little bit of the lesson. So anyway, but feel free to speak comfortably. I'll make sure to pause at the right time in any case. I'll do my best to help you use this as much as possible in your daily teaching. All right, let's get started with the lesson. What is AI? What is AI? AI stands for artificial intelligence. Artificial means man-made or synthetic, and intelligence means intelligence. So artificial intelligence. It's an abbreviation for artificial intelligence. If we look a bit deeper, by the way, I'll upload all these materials to our Kakao Talk group chat. If we look a bit deeper, human intelligence includes abilities like learning, reasoning, and perception. Learning ability refers to the act of understanding concepts based on repeated patterns. For example, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, 4 + 4 is 8. Based on these repeated patterns, we can come to understand, this is addition. Then using the concepts we've learned through that learning process, we can also reason. For example, if someone asks, what is 8 + 8? We can reason, that's 16. Or if we see a fluffy white friend barking woof woof by hearing, seeing, and touching it, using our perception, we can recognize, this is a dog. So we are also capable of perception in this way. Artificial intelligence, or AI as we commonly call it, refers to complex computers or advanced machines that are specifically designed to learn, reason, and perceive information just like humans do. So, teachers, if you take away just one single line from today's important lesson, it should definitely be this. AI, in a nutshell, is something carefully made so that computers or machines can think and learn like humans. If that's a bit too long for you to remember right now, just keep these 3 simple keywords in mind: computer, human, and thinking. To repeat that once more for clarity, AI is something made so that computers or machines can think and learn like humans. Does that make sense to everyone here today? All right, then let's look at how AI works. Its basic operating principles. I've written a lot here, but that's just for you to review later, teachers. I know most of you don't really like reading a lot of text, right? Let's move on to the next step. So, what exactly am I going to do here? I'm saying that I'm going to try teaching the artificial intelligence all about cats. That means I'm going to have the AI system learn from a vast variety of different data sources and educational materials specifically about cats. In those various materials that we are looking at, it could be text, images, sounds, or videos. Basically, all sorts of diverse data and materials related to cats are first taught to the AI. Then, after seeing tens of millions of pictures of cats, the AI says, I've seen tens of millions of cat images. Repeatedly, I noticed that cats have ears shaped like this, noses like that, and eyes like this. It extracts these repeated patterns. By doing so, it creates its own model, saying, this is what a cat is like. After seeing tens of millions of cat images, it creates a model based on the repeated patterns. Once it creates the model, what happens next? So when a cute retriever photo comes in, it says, oh, this only matches about 50% with the model I created, so I don't think this is a cat. Or when a photo like the one below comes in, it says, this matches about 95% with the model I created, so I think this is a cat. In this way, it judges how similar something is to the model it has built, and that's how AI can predict and determine results. Do you understand? It's pretty easy, right? All right then, thank you. If you sum up AI in one sentence, what did we say it was? We said it's short for artificial intelligence, and we could express it simply in one sentence, right? What was it? Computer, human, thinking, right? It's about making computers or machines able to think and learn like humans. Computer, human thinking, computer, human learning. Even if you just remember these keywords, that'll be helpful. Now, how does AI work? What's the operating principle? What did AI do first? That's right, it collected data. After gathering all the data, what did it do next? That's right, it created a model. By extracting repeated patterns, the AI built its own model, and then when new data comes in, it compares it with the model it created, right? That's how it produces results. It's really easy, isn't it? It's not that easy. It's okay if it's a bit difficult. We'll keep reviewing this. Let's also take a look at the types of AI. Do you know what all of these are? ChatGPT. There are really so many types of AI, but I've broadly categorized them into three types: text to text. When you input text, it outputs text. When you input text, it outputs text, like ChatGPT. I've listed it here, but let me ask you a question like this. Everyone, do you happen to know roughly how many people there are in the world? Approximately 6 billion? 8 billion? Is it a little over 8 billion? About how many people is it? Don't worry, I won't kick you out for getting it wrong. You can just answer comfortably. And this time, don't ask ChatGPT. Just for now, don't ask it. $8,260,000,000. It's almost like an auction, isn't it? That's right. Roughly about 8 billion people, give or take. Then, how many people do you think use smartphones? Please don't look it up. Just go with your gut feeling and try to answer as comfortably as you can. The world population is about 8 billion, and among them, 2 billion use smartphones, 2 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, 1 billion. Teacher, what are you searching with, by the way? ChatGPT? No, but I think you might have searched it a bit wrong, because the number of smartphone users is roughly between 4 and 5 billion, approximately, right? That means more than half of the world's population is using it, right? Then about how many people do you think use ChatGPT? The world population is about 8 billion, and the number of smartphone users is around 4 to 5 billion. So how many people do you think use ChatGPT? 1/10? 100 million. 500 million? It's about 800 million to 1 billion people. Do you know how long it's been since ChatGPT came out? Since ChatGPT first launched. Two or 3 years? 7 years? 8 or 9 years? It's been 3 years. In just 3 years, 10% of the world's population is using it. In just 3 years, that's an incredible speed. It's faster than anything we've ever seen before. Shall we go a little further? You roughly know the population of our country, right? About how many people is that? The population of our country? You should know the population of our country. It's about 50 million, roughly 50 million people. Out of our country's population, how many people do you think are using ChatGPT? Out of 50 million, roughly how many? Are we looking at a figure that represents roughly about 10 to 15% of the total amount, which would translate to approximately 5 million in this particular case? Or is the actual number significantly different from that estimation? It's mostly young people, and it is widely said that approximately 25 million or more are utilizing the platform. Between 20 and 25 million exactly. Actually, if you exclude the youngest and oldest segments of the population, almost everyone in our country is using it. ChatGPT, that is. What's really interesting is that we're the second highest country in the world for paid subscriptions. Paid ChatGPT usage is truly remarkable. When I see statistics like this, I can't help but view our country's potential for development in the AI era very positively. Don't you agree? What we call digital literacy, in other words, digital competence, if you look at it globally, on average, I think our country is probably the best at using digital technology, regardless of age or gender. That's why I believe we can take the lead in the AI era as well. I see this very positively. Anyway, ChatGPT is one of the most successful AIs out there, and it's also the AI used by the largest number of people worldwide. I think it's also one of the most capable AIs. This one was created by a company called OpenAI. Now, Gemini, who made it, as I mentioned earlier, it's an AI made by Google, right? Gemini's capabilities are all built into this AI made by Google. So, do you happen to know what kind of assets or technologies Google as a company possesses? YouTube, right? The YouTube that you all watch so much belongs to Google. Now, why is the fact that YouTube is owned by Google so important? Having a large platform is also extremely important. But earlier, when we talked about how AI works, we said that for AI to function, it needs to collect data and then use that data to create something. Owning YouTube means having the largest amount of high-quality video data in the world. Do you understand? That's why when it comes to creating AI that makes videos, YouTube has a wealth of excellent resources. And what else does YouTube have? What does YouTube have? What does YouTube have? Music? Although there is YouTube Music, it doesn't seem like YouTube actually produces or creates music itself. What does Google have? Maps, right? Google has Google Maps. Google Maps is the map used by the most people in the world. So they have every single map and even all the information about each store. For example, if you use Gemini and ask it to recommend 10 good restaurants in Jeongjadong, it will display the results by linking with Google Maps. It's really easy to see everything at a glance. And since it's connected to Google Maps, you can even see all the reviews for the places shown on the map. We're going to try all of this. Also, what else does Google have? It has the Google search engine. About 70% to 80% of people around the world use Google as their search engine. It's mostly just Koreans who use Naver a lot. So Google knows what people around the world are curious about. They could even create an AI tailored to that. So it's one of the most outstanding AIs, and below that I've written Copilot. Copilot is an AI developed by Microsoft. It's a very advanced AI. It was developed by Microsoft. So where would it be best to use it? It would be best to use it on a computer or PC, right? Most computers have Microsoft Windows installed, right? So, of course, it's great to use ChatGPT or Gemini on a PC, but Copilot is also really good to use on a PC. Additionally, Microsoft owns 50% of OpenAI's shares. They are the largest major shareholder. So either by the end of this year or next year, OpenAI is contractually obligated to disclose all AI-related information to Microsoft. That's why I think Microsoft will likely make significant advancements in the AI field as well. Let's go a bit further. When you enter text for text to image, a picture comes out. When you input text, it generates an image. I've pulled up this tool called Leonardo AI here, but we won't necessarily use it in our class. Why? ChatGPT is fun too, you know? These guys are also really good at drawing. So, although there are many different AI tools available today, if you simply master the effective use of both ChatGPT and Gemini, you can actually make much better use of AI than you ever would by trying out too many different ones. Shall we move on to the next part? Text to sound and video. Earlier, I showed you all the videos made with AI, right? And we're also going to create songs with AI. As I mentioned earlier in the curriculum, our Sanho song is made really, really well. And here, there's Sora, an AI that makes videos. We're going to try making all these kinds of things together. All right, we'll wrap up the first period here. It's 1:55 now, so we'll take a 10-minute break and start the second period at 2:05. Let's take a 10-minute break.